Hey, what's going on, y'all? So today, I'm gonna tell you a story about this guy. He wasn't straight. Say that. He wasn't straight, and he used to like to basically not force himself on people, but force himself on people without seeming like he's doing it that way. So this dude, he was tall, skinny. He was a black man. Had short hair. He was real thin, like Gumby thin. And the thing is this guy, whenever people used to go into the showers, you know, he would follow them into the showers. I mean, literally, he'd follow them into the showers and go in there and start twerking. And I know this because I was in the prison with the guy, and I was in the shower one time when he did it. So I'm telling you from experience. And this guy, he would just always find ways to get himself in situations that were not the brightest. And he would do it by trying to turn people on to black tar heroin and meth and all these other drugs. He would try and, because he had a little bit of money, he would try and turn people out by investing in the things that they crave, in their vices. Anyhow, one day, rec time came and we were all out there, and you see this dude, they're all out there playing softball. He turns around and you see him out there. There was a dude named Tony from La Puente, from I think it's Ballista. He was from, he was a long-haired cat, short. He was the one of the star players of the softball team that they had put together out there in Santa Fe. So this guy goes, Tony hits a drive ball. It flies by. He runs to second, and they stop him at second. And sure enough, this dude, we'll call him Tootsie Roll. This guy Tootsie Roll walks up to Tony and kind of puts his butt on him and starts twerking and shaking him trying to get him off the base. And then because Tony started getting uncomfortable, he tried to have them throw the softball from the pitcher to second base to get him out. This guy's using tactics like that to try and get over on Tony, make him uncomfortable, so he could try and get the out for his team. So this happened a few times. He did it to multiple people, and finally, I seen that he kept doing it to my people. So I went from where I was watching the game, walked over there whenever they were having like some type of group meeting, and I was like, hey, check it out. I said, like, you can't keep letting that vato twerk on you. You can't keep letting him do that to you. Like, don't do that, bro. Like, have some respect for yourself and have some respect for us. We don't get down like that. Well, so finally, they didn't get the clue. They didn't get the hint. He let him keep doing it. Finally, I got upset, and I went up and I told Tony again. I said, "Hey," I said, I'm mad. I was like, are you that way? Or are you the same way as this vato? Is that why you're not putting that in check? What's going on? Is it how you're living? Do you like that? Do you like it? And at this time, this vato, Tony, claimed to be one of the head honchos of where we were rocking with. And, because I was getting mad. Like I said, I was new, I was fresh, I was still, what's called a new booty in the prison system. And, but I was never a coward, though. I was never that. So he turns around and I start telling him, like, what's up, Esther? Like, get it together. If you're running the show, then lead with some respect, lead with some morals. Don't be, don't make it look like we're standing on that type of game. And so he's getting mad. Whatever, youngster, whatever. I run this show. I run the game. I run the car here. not you. Who are you? And I was like, all right. I let it keep happening. Happening finally a couple more times. So finally, I went up to him, and he said something, like, cause I got mad. I was like, you're a bitch, homie. Like, you're a real life bitch, homie. You're just too scared to tell about the quit twerking on you, homie. Like, you're a real life hoe, homie. And he's all, what's up? You want to get court action? Court is wherever you're acting insubordinate, or they think you're acting insubordinate, so you get jumped on by people. You get jumped basically by your crew. So he's all, you going to court? So I said, I didn't even know at the time what court was. That's why I said, shit, I could give a fuck. Shit. You ain't talking about nothing, bro. You're sitting here. You're wishy-washy just like he is. Like you're a clown just like that dude. You like it. Like it's whatever you want to do. We can go about this however you want to go about it. So finally, he didn't walk off the softball field. I started walking back. He sends two of the biggest vatos on the yard. We'll say Tiny and Chilo. Those were their names, right? I went into the unit. Now, the way the unit was there was an A side and a B side. I lived in the therapeutic community on B side. And all of a sudden, this vato, Duck, and a few other vatos, they come up. They see that I walk in kind of mad, and they're like, hey, what's going on? What happened? What's happening? What happened? And I broke it down that Tony was out there letting that dude twerk on him, making our crew seem like we're, into that type of stuff. And so like, Tony runs a yard, like, you gotta be smart, he'll put a hit on you. And this type of crowd was like, I don't care less about any of that, man. That's not how we get down. We're like, we don't do, that's not, we don't live that way, we have regulations for those types of things. We have rules, we have morals. And so finally, like I said, outside B-side unit 2, I want to say, therapeutic community, I see these two big boys. Tiny was a bald-headed, light-skinned, huge, like 6'3", 350 pounds. Sheila was like dark-skinned, bald-headed, like 6'2", 300 pounds. Like, they were big. They were the two biggest Mexicans inside of the system at that time where I was at. And I see him come out, and sure enough, they sent Duck over there. He's like, hey, Tiny and Chilo are out there. They want to rap to you. So there was two crash gates. As you walked out, there was a crash gate to the left of the therapeutic community dorm and to the right. These gates blocked off both sides. So in order for you to go out, you had to talk to the officer to get outside of that area. Well, they had a watch out standing on the right side of the gate, so that if I decided to catch out, if I decided that I wasn't going to go in the shower with these guys and handle up, that's what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to step in the shower and take court. So they put someone at the crash gate there to keep watch, and then someone at the other side. And they went in there. So they're like, they called me out there, and they're like, look, man, you're going to get violation the way you talk to Tony. He wants you violated. So I was like, I'm getting violated because he likes to mess with people that are, I'm gonna get violated for it. And he's like, well, that or you can catch out, go to PC, protective custody. So I'm not doing any of that. So I walked in, and my homeboy Barry, he was from Clovis. He sees me walk in. He's like, what's going on? He was like my walking partner, my pinochle partner. He was we're pretty close. Like, what's going on? And he's straight. Like, and Barry could get it. Like, Barry had hands. That boy had hands. I told him what happened. They want me to go to the shower, and they want to take me to court because I checked Tony because he's letting Tootsie Roll twerk on him. So I don't know what that's all about, but I guess he liked it. So he's trying to get me violated for it. To want me to go to the shower and take court. And he's like, well, I got you. And there was about the name Big Black. He was a boxer. He was a boxer out of Clovis, Mexico as well. And him, Fat Pat, Barry, they're like, we got y'all. And I was like, nah, I'm good. So I put on my shoes. First thing now, the way it is, like I said, you walk out of my dorm, to the left is a crash gate, to the right is a crash gate, but before the crash gates, to the left is a shower, to the right is a shower, to the right is the restrooms. So I go in there, even though that these vatos were huge, Tiny and Chilo were hid by the shower curtain, so I could see that Chilo was in the back of the shower, but I couldn't see where Tiny was. So I figured he was hiding behind the shower curtain. So sure enough, I walk in there real fast and I run towards Chilo. Like, they didn't think I was gonna go in there at all. They thought I was gonna PC. And so I go in there and I go in and I rush past the curtain, and sure enough, I took a nasty uppercut to the back end of my back, like in my liver area. Afterwards they said that I flew like high in the air, and I fell into the water of the shower. And I went to get up, pushed myself up, and I got kicked in the face, and you're not really supposed to take face shots, but it is what it is, Whenever people are filled with adrenaline, they just act. So I got up and I started fighting with these guys. And mind you, I'm 5'3". I'm 5'3". A pretty, at this time, I'm still kind of chunky, but I'm not a coward, so I'm just handling my business. And I got dropped again. And then finally, Tiny got me like in a bear hug, and he's all, time. That's it. So, I got up and I start walking out, bloody nose and busted mouth. I walk out, and as I walk out, I see, like I said, that duck was at the crash gate, keeping watch out. And so I walk and I make that automatic right to where my dorm is, and I walk straight into my dorm, and Barry and Fat Pat and Carl, Big Black, they're standing there, and they're like, oh, like, clean yourself up. Barry took me back to, what's up? Are you good? Goes back there, pulls out a stick. A stick is like, tobacco. A stick. Pulls out a stick. He's like, hey, do you want to puff on one? Good. Sat there and I blew a stick with him and cleaned up the blood, changed out of the wet clothing and everything, broke it down. I thought that this dude was a clown. I thought that he was a clown, that he'd rather have me violated than to quit acting like he's like he's liking that lifestyle. And so after that, a couple hours went by, lockdown went, and sure enough, Tony lived on A side Unit 3. Like I said, I live on B side Unit 2, so we live on the opposite sides of the penitentiary. And he sent word over there to me, talking about everything squashed. Everything squashed. What's up? Are we gonna have issues? And nothing squashed, man. But I didn't say that at this point. Like I was still fresh to the facility. I didn't want to seem like I was totally against however they were living in the facility. But I just knew that they weren't living according to the way our people lived. That they were in violation just by the standards of the way they were living and doing their time. So I sent word back through a couple of homies, like, yeah, let them know, hey, everything's straight, we're good. I got no pedo. He's the shot caller. It is what it is. So he turns around, he gets word, sends me a care package of soups and all this junk, and Tiny and Chilo bring it back to me. And they're like, damn, youngster, so you didn't PC, huh? You didn't PC, you just went in there and just took that whooping, huh? I said, yeah, bro, it is what it is. That's y'all got the better of me. But it's all good. It is what it is. Don't bring it up to me again. I handled my business, I took my violation, and here we are. It is what it is. So they shook my hand, like, Simon, Simon. Shook my hand. And for that round, they let it go. And I'll have another story coming up about this Vato Tootsie Roll and what happened with this Vato. But for the meantime, that was the end of this one, guys. And I say that to let you know that not everyone's for you. Not everyone's for you. That these people who say that they got your that they got your back, that they care for you, that I love you, brother, and it's all nonsense, man. So I hope you enjoy the story. You know, let's move forward, keep building this channel, let y'all know my experiences, other experiences I see other people going through. Everything I'm telling y'all is firsthand, what I've gone through before I changed my life and found Christ and became a security officer, and before I turned my life around completely and got blessed enough to where I could have this job, even with the background that I did live having on my background. So, all right, y'all. Let me know if there's anything that you want to hear. Let me know if there's any questions, anything that you'd like me to post, anything that you'd like me to tell stories about that I've lived through. Maximum security, level 2 security, level 1 security, level 3 security. I've lived every version of security that there is to live, and now I do security. So if there's anything you want to know, let me know. All right, y'all. Later. Over and out.